This is the Thunderbolt 5 dock from WAVLINK. In this video, we're going to take a look at how this would actually work in the current ecosystem where most of the laptops are still primarily on Thunderbolt 4. Though there are few available devices with Thunderbolt 5 support, they're still quite rare in the market. So in this video, we'll take a look at how it is to use this device with the current ecosystem Thunderbolt 4 laptop, how it fares in terms of the build quality, what is the actual performance of this device with the SD card and the included 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, and whether this is a buy, wait, or a skip device for you if you're looking to set up a workstation, a one cable connection, or if you're just looking for something to expand the ports availability on your current laptop. In the box included with the WAVLINK dock here is the actual dock itself. We can see it's a nice machined aluminum piece of kit here. It feels sturdy, it's solid, it's got plenty of ports here, 13 in one if we count them all together on the front and the back. Nothing on the sides except some venting here, so it looks pretty good when it's sitting on your desk. We have some paperwork here, typical stuff, a manual, a quick start guide, and some warranty information that's included in the box here. And in the box we also get a Thunderbolt 5 cable, which is up to 80 gigabits per second, and a cable lock here. We have a standard ATX power cable and a 230 watt power brick to keep everything powered, and a screwdriver. Port selection is very good here. We have a Kensington lock slot. We have two USB Type-C Thunderbolt 5 ports for downlinks for displays and other peripherals. We have two 10 gigabits per second USB Type-A ports, a top-facing or up-facing RJ45 connector for a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, and a barrel pin power adapter here for the included 230 watt power brick. On the front of the device, we have a headphone microphone combo jack, an SD card reader 4.0. This is UHS 2 at 320 megabytes per second. Additional two USB Type-A ports at 10 gigabits per second. A Thunderbolt 5 type USB-C uplink here to your laptop or your Thunderbolt 5 device. And finally, a 30 watt USB Type-C plug here for charging your peripherals such as your mouse or your iPad, and a LED and a power button. Talking about the build quality of this device, it's actually solidly built. It's a metal device, looks like aluminum, and it's actually quite dense and it's heavy. It's something that you would actually leave docked on your desk here for a kind of workstation setup where you come in, plug one cable with the Thunderbolt 5 connection, and off you go with all your peripherals, your monitors, and everything else that you want to have connected to your docked workstation. Now, it is a little bit weighty, so I would say over 1 pound here, so it's not something that you're going to be carrying in your bag most often. It's actually designed to be set up on a desk. There is no fan inside, so it's going to be totally silent. You won't have any noise coming from this particular device here, and with the charging brick, once you add the weight, it does become quite hefty for a daily carry. So this is designed to be seated on a desk next to your PC or next to your desktop setup, and just a single cable connection to get you that warrior docking station and work setup. First thing to demonstrate here is the ability of the Thunderbolt 5 dock from WAVLINK to deliver up to 140 watts of power for the connected device, particularly the laptop that you've got for upstream connections to the dock. This is the Omen Transcend 14 for 2025, takes exactly 140 watts of power over a USB-C connection. So I'm going to plug in this cable here into the right-hand side of this device into the USB Type-C port. And we'll see here that on the dock, the light changes to green, and we see here over on the PC that on the laptop now we see the battery indicating that it is being charged. And another way to verify this, if you go over and hover on the battery icon here in the bottom right hand corner, we'll notice that it isn't saying that you've got a charger plugged in that doesn't provide enough battery power, or plug in a higher power battery power. That is an indication you'll get from Windows if you plugged in a device that does not deliver enough power as required by the laptop to charge. So this is successfully delivering 140 watts of power over to the Omen Transcend 14. One other nice feature to demonstrate here is that connecting via USB to get some external displays. When I connect this, however, using a HDMI to USB Type-C adapter, so you'll need to get that, because keep in mind there's no display port nor any HDMI ports natively on this dock. You're going to have to go exclusively Thunderbolt 4 all the way. So if I plug this in here, you can see it'll take a moment or so. It recognizes the adapter, recognizes the display, and now you're able to connect your USB-C/Thunderbolt display via the dock to your PC. So now we're connected here via HDMI, and if we go into the display settings, you can see here I can adjust the resolution all the way up to the native resolution of this display, so on and so on. And if we go into the advanced here, we can see that we're able to drive this at up to 120 Hertz because this is a 120 Hertz display. So those of you who are looking to hook up gaming displays or high refresh rate displays through this dock here over USB-C, you're certainly going to be able to do that with many cases. So I'm connected now here to my desktop PC. This is the third PC that I'm testing this dock with today. So you can see here, this is a 1440p display running at 60 Hertz. Of course, I can scale it all the way up to 180 Hertz, and that works fine just over HDMI connection. So we can have this display running at high refresh rate. Now, to add an additional monitor, I have an additional monitor here. This is a 4K 240 Hertz display. So I'll connect this over the USB Type-C to HDMI adapter, and immediately Windows will toggle into dual display mode. We can see here that both of my displays are detected. Now if I go back to display, I'm seeing that both of my displays here are detected. So this one here is 1440p, excuse me, resolution, running at 180 Hertz. And if I go over here, this one, the display that I just added via the Thunderbolt dock here is a 4K display. So I can go all the way up to 4K resolution, accept that. It will scale the device up to 4K resolution. And then finally, I can go here to advanced settings and scale this all the way up to 120 Hertz. Though that one is actually a 4K 240 Hertz display. With the Thunderbolt 5 dock here, it's only detecting at 120 Hertz, and it refreshes into 4K 120 Hertz mode here. So we can see that we're actually able to drive. Oops, let's toggle the resolution here as well. 4K. And if we go to the advanced display, it swaps back to 30 Hertz. Now, that could be due to the fact that because I'm not actually getting the full bandwidth out of this dock, I'm actually using a USB-C to an HDMI adapter. So though I can drive it, it doesn't seem to allow me to drive this display at 120 Hertz natively at 4K. So perhaps we'll try 60 Hertz. I believe that should be possible at 4K because this thing can support up to 8K displays at 60 Hertz. It does have enough bandwidth, but again, this is one of the downsides of using a Thunderbolt 5 dock in today's ecosystem where many devices are still stuck on Thunderbolt 4 or USB 4 at the latest. So we'll now see here that we've got 4K and still running at 30. Let's try to see if we can toggle it at 60 Hertz. So it looks like 60 Hertz also drops it down to 1440p resolution, which is a shame because that is a nice 4K OLED at 240 Hertz. So there are still some challenges, definitely. Now, I would not put this on WAVLINK. This is a issue of how the USB consortium has open sourced some of these issues, how Thunderbolt 4 and Thunderbolt 5 devices work. So these are the challenges you're going to face inevitably if you purchase into the Thunderbolt 5 ecosystem, and if you do not have truly capable Thunderbolt 5 devices today. And just to verify that it isn't my SD card, I've got another SD card here. This one is SanDisk, rated at 200 megabytes per second, although still UHS 1 speeds. So we'll plug this in here into the dock, and we'll see here how fast we can transfer data using this SD card. So we'll grab roughly about 4 gigabytes of data here, and let's paste it over and see if we can get close to the 170 megabytes or even the 200 megabytes that's advertised on this particular SD card. Although 170 megabytes seems to top out for UHS 1 speeds, I don't have any UHS 2 SD cards on hand to demonstrate that. However, you can see, as I've shown earlier, I'm only consistently seeing about 37 or 40 megabytes per second of speeds with the single cable connection. Of course, that may be limited due to the USB connection on this device here. This is a 40 gigabit USB Type-C port rather than a 80 gigabits per second, which would be what you'd get with Thunderbolt 5. This, however, is compatible with USB 4, which is also compatible with the open source Thunderbolt 4 that has been donated to the open source community by Intel, and that would give you 40 gigabytes of transfer speeds over the USB Type-C connection. Now, just to confirm that it isn't an issue with the USB Type-C port on the laptop here, I'm going to connect this to my mini PC here. This one also has a USB 4 port. This is also rated at 40 gigabits per second. So we're going to plug this Thunderbolt 5 cable into here. Let's get this dock connected. Once it is connected, we can see here immediately, let's plug in our 200 megabytes per second SD card from SanDisk and see what kind of read speeds we can get on the dock here. Now, other nice thing is that it is facing up, so when you pull out the card or you insert the card, you can see the labeling and whatnot. So if you're interested in seeing what's happening on your PC or what's written on the card, you're going to have some nice visibility there. So let's grab this here. We'll grab these clips, copy them, and then let's place them over to our videos folder. And you can see here that we're getting much better speed. So it is dependent on the actual USB connector here, and it could depend varying on what the internals are, how the actual USB cables are wired. But you can see here that it's really getting up there close to that 170 megabytes per second, which is the theoretical limit of the UHS Type 1 standard. For the next text here, we'll plug in a Ethernet connection here to my 2.5 gigabit network. This one has a built-in 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, a typical RJ45 connector facing up. So I'll plug that in here. We'll plug our dock to my laptop. This is the Omen Transcend 14 again. I'm going to copy this video here. This is a 21 gigabyte file, so we can get a nice representation of how the actual speed is over the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection that's wired into the USB dock from WAVLINK. Connecting this dock to Windows is quite simple. You can see here that it detects immediately the 2.5 gigabit per second USB-C Ethernet connector. There's no issues with that detecting. There's no drivers needed. There's no other installations whatsoever. So to demonstrate the copy speeds here over the USB Ethernet connection, I'm just going to copy this 15 gigabyte video file here. We'll hop over to our videos folder and just paste this in here, and we'll check out what the actual copy speeds are. Theoretically, on a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection, you're going to get about 180 megabytes per second. And with this full power USB 4 port here on my desktop PC connected via the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet to the Thunderbolt 5 dock from WAVLINK, you can see here that we're getting pretty much the maximal speed here, which is at about 180 megabytes per second. So full performance there from the Thunderbolt dock from WAVLINK when used as an Ethernet connected device. One more interesting thing to point out is if you're going to use this with a Linux machine, not that it's officially mentioned to be supported, however it will work. You'll get this notice here, such as I'm getting on the Kubuntu system. So you'll need to select here authorize permanently to allow the actual device to be available on a Linux device. After that, you'll be able to grab your SD card here, the same one that we used on the other mini PC. We'll plug that in to our Thunderbolt 5 dock. That immediately the SD card here is detected. So we'll pop in here and let's just do a quick copy test, and we'll demonstrate the copy speeds even on Ubuntu. So let's pop that here under videos. And we can see here, if we look at the details, that our copy speeds are excellent. We're getting the full speeds here of the UHS-1 standard, and as capable as this SD card is able to render the data to the PC. Okay, verdict time. So what are my thoughts on this Thunderbolt 5 dock from WAVLINK? Well, it has, gives you all of the utility that you need. If you're somebody who likes to travel a lot or be away from your desktop setup, but like to come back and connect one cable and simply get to work right away with all your devices connected, and you've already embedded or you've bought into the Thunderbolt ecosystem, particularly Thunderbolt 5 heavily, then this is going to be the great device for you. Even if you have Thunderbolt 4 devices, you're going to be able to leverage this without any issues. Simple drop it and set up, and you'll have that future proofing for Thunderbolt 5 when those devices come around the corner. In that case, for you, it would be a buy. For those of you who are looking to get into the Thunderbolt ecosystem or have Intel devices or just all AMD devices and are not heavily invested yet but are thinking about it, this would definitely be the path you'd want to take if you want to get into the Thunderbolt ecosystem, Thunderbolt monitors, Thunderbolt devices, Thunderbolt peripherals, etc. However, since Thunderbolt 5 laptops, particularly because this is designed around the use case of a Thunderbolt 5 desk laptop being the desk anchor, and you use this to set up your entire desktop setup. If you don't have a Thunderbolt 5 device today, such as a laptop, I would say this is probably a wait for you. And those of you who aren't interested in Thunderbolt 5 at all, just use USB 4. You can see here that with my mixture of devices that I've just demonstrated, that USB connectivity can be hit or miss. You're not going to get the full performance in some cases. You're going to have some issues with Ethernet challenges, actually getting connected to the network, as I did with my mini PC here, trying to connect over 2.5 gigabit Ethernet using this dock. But on my PC, my other desktop PC connected just fine, and I was getting excellent speeds. So it's going to be hit and miss, and that is due to the actual USB, the state of USB today. We have tons of USB-C connections. However, not all USB-C connections are equivalent and not the same. And that confusion, creates a lot of issues on the consumers. And this is something that the USB consortium and need to take into consideration, because now they've designed all kinds of devices, peripherals, protocols, and everything that run over the USB Type-C connector. However, they all have different speeds, different networks, different capabilities. You can have one cable that only charges while another cable will charge and allow you to get data off of your smartphone, for example. There's a lot of issues with USB, so really know what you're getting into if you're going to be getting into the USB ecosystem and you have devices which are not Thunderbolt 4 or Thunderbolt 5, or you have all AMD devices with USB 4 and other variations of USB ports. You're going to need to make sure you understand those types of connections and what you're buying into before you invest in this dock. For you, it would be a skip. Of course, if you're really into Thunderbolt 5 docks, I think this is a fantastic device. The build quality is great. The clicking mechanism of the SD cards facing upwards is great. Ethernet 2.5 gigabit facing upward is great. So if you have a laptop that supports Thunderbolt 5, and there are some coming on the horizon, this is going to be a future-proof setup for you. All right, if you're looking to buy this device, there's links in the description below. They're affiliate links, but they help out the channel, but at no extra cost to you. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.